Hi, Math11. So I've marked the quizzes that were handed in the take-home quiz. I'm still missing from about half of you that take-home quiz. Okay, so let's try to get that done. Um, so what I'm going to do tonight is just go over some questions that some students had asked, and then I will give you some review questions to work on. Okay, so Thursday I'll give you the take-home exam for this chapter. Okay, which has been on um, rational equations. So I got this question. So it's a solving rational equations. So there's a couple things you want to start off with. Um, you want to add the left hand side, and so what you're looking for is a common denominator between w minus 3 and w minus 6, which is going to be the product of the two, w minus 3, w minus 6. And then you also want to factor this part here. Okay, so for what we're going to basically do is we have to multiply this one by w minus 6 over w minus 6. Okay, and then this side here we have to multiply by w minus 3 over w minus 3. Okay, so what you get then, so there we're multiplying 9 by w minus 6 and 4 by w minus 3. Again, notice the minus sign there. So this is your common denominator. It's the product of the two. And then here we factor and we get w minus 3 and w minus 6. Okay, so remember we talked about when you have when you have two fractions that are separated by an equal sign, then you can cross out things that are the same on the denominator. So we can cross out w minus 3 with w minus 3 here, and then w minus 6 with w minus 6 over here. Okay, so you can cross that out, and now we get just the top part, and now we'll expand. So we'll go 9 times w and 9 times minus 6. We'll go negative 4 times w and negative 4 times minus 3 equal to 18. Okay, so that'll give you all that stuff. And then what you want to do is collect like terms. So 9w minus 4w, so that'll give you 5w, and negative 54 and positive 12 will give you negative 42. Okay, so 5w minus 42 equals 18. We'll move the 42, negative 42 to that side, so that'll make that positive 60. And then divide both sides by 5, and you'll get an answer of w equals 12. Okay, and then this was true of the quiz. Let's not forget these values here. Okay, so some of you either forgot to put these in, or you had difficulty with the non-permissible values. Okay, so again, these are the non-permissible values, and it looks at the result of what would make the denominator equal to 0, because you can't divide by 0. So w can't be 3 and w can't be 6. Okay, so again, just because we don't see those letters in the final answer, you still have to kind of backtrack and figure out where you can include the non-permissible values. Okay, and the other thing about the non-permissible values, suppose we had two answers here. Suppose we had 12 and then another answer was 3. 3 would be extraneous because it's in the non-permissible values, like a restriction. Okay, so that's the other key feature of the non-permissible values. Okay, so the other one I got was this one, 3D. Okay, so again, you want to make it so that these two can be put together, so you need a common denominator. So this one is x minus 1. So the way this is written right now is as if it's just x over 1. Okay, and so what you want to do is you want to multiply this by x plus 1 over x plus 1. Okay, so you're going to multiply that. So that's going to give you x squared plus x plus 2 minus x, and then x plus 1 over x plus 1. This part here could not be factored. Okay, so we just leave it like that. And then this top part cannot be factored. And then the bottom part can, because that's a difference of squares. So we get x minus 1, x plus 1. And so again, you have the same thing going on here. You have an x plus 1 here, an x plus 1 here. So you can cancel that out. The x minus 1 is going to remain. Okay, so you multiply this one out. So that's going to give you negative x squared and then negative x. And so x squared minus x squared, that'll be 0. X minus x, that'll be 0. So all you'll have left is the 2. Okay, and so now what you want to do is you want to get rid of this x minus 1 on the bottom here. So we're going to multiply this side by x minus 1. And we're going to multiply this side by x minus 1. Okay, and so that'll cancel this part out. And so you get 2 times x minus 1, which is going to be 2x minus 2, equal to x squared minus 5. And so when you put everything on the same side, so if we move everything to the right, 2x becomes minus 2x. The negative 2 becomes positive 2 plus the 5, so that becomes minus 3, all equal to 0. So we factor that out. We get x plus 1, x minus 3. Okay, so you get 2 answers here. So let's go back and look at the restrictions. So the restrictions have to do with these bottom parts there. So your restriction is going to be, or your non-permissible value is x can equal 1 and x can equal negative 1. Okay, and so you get 2 answers here. You get positive 3 and negative 1, but again, because the negative 1 is extraneous, then that's not one of the possible answers. Okay, so again, negative 1 is an answer here, but because it's a non-permissible value, then we say it's extraneous. Okay, so it cannot be a solution. Okay, so you only have one solution, x equals 3. So this is the chapter review. So I'd like you to do these questions here, and then let me know which of these you want me to go over. So next class, Thursday's class, I'll go over the answers to these first, and then I'll give you the take-home exam. Okay, and that's all I'll do for Thursday, and then I'll start the next chapter on Tuesday. Okay, so sort of give you a little bit of lighter amount of work over, so you can just get the test done. Okay, so again, just keep sending me questions. Again, let's try to get those quizzes in. I'm still missing from quite a few of you. Okay, and as always, just try to be safe and look after yourself. Okay, bye for now.